All right.
Okay, well, Brandon, you know the drill.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's do that again.
Well, let's do it. All right.
There we go.
Alright guys, welcome back to channel. チャンネルへようこそ。今日はまたね、ブランド先生に、来ていただきました。So, Brandon, thanks again. Sorry, my hand is dirty because I was cleaning up my bowl. 今日はですね、自衛隊の方からちょっとリクエストがありまして、ジャムのクリアのやり方をやりたいと思います。給弾不良ですね。で、給弾不良にもいろいろ種類がありまして、それぞれのステップを、行っていきたいと思います。So, Brandon, today we are going to go through the steps of mitigating resolving the jam, clearing, all kinds of issues. Right? The purpose of today's drill is to educate people who are in military service, right? Yep. Educating them on how to properly assess the situation and then recover from that situation. Okay, so a couple things that we want to cover today. So when we do this kind of drill, right, the safety fundamentals, right? So to keep the muzzle pointed at the safe direction all the time. Finger off the trigger when we're clearing, and also the understanding malfunctions. What is stopping versus mechanical failure? Most common causes, magazine issues. Crappy magazine will cause a lot of issues, right? Ammunition issues, shooter-induced issues, dirty rifle, which I had a lot of dirty rifle. I had a lot of problems. Right, and the broken components.
If you ever want to differentiate the two from one another, just remember like a stoppage is self-induced. A malfunction is something that is mechanical within the firearm. So a good idea for a malfunction, let's say that you have worn out like ejector or extractor, right? So checking your bolt is good. Checking out your gas rings as well. So preventative maintenance is great for ensuring that you don't have malfunctions. Mind your P's and Q's, right? Especially if you're in the service. Make sure that whenever you take out your firearm, you always inspect it, right? Because they're used and abused. They're not like your own personal ones. I tell you what, I take care of mine way more than I did in the military. Definitely make sure that, your lifeline, i.e. your rifle, is absolutely adequate and to your standard.
100%. Yeah, I forgot to cover this, but can you go over your credentials, what your prior experience is?
Yeah, absolutely. So again, my name is Sanchez. So I was a United States Marine for about 8 years, 8.5 years. I was in the infantry beforehand. My first deployment was actually to Okinawa, and then I was in Camp Fuji. So I was in Camp Fuji for a little bit. Shout out to Fuji. I love that place. It was great, even though it was super small, but it was awesome. I loved it. And then I went to a place called MSG. Under that, it was like Marine Security Guard. So if you ever see Marines work in the embassies, that's what I did, but not to that extent. I was more so on their QRF side. So if there was something going on like in the world post-crisis, my team would get a call. We'd, hit up a plane, head out to that country, and we would bolster up security essentially. That's pretty much what we did. So we were more so just QRF driven. And then now I'm here. And I work as a firearms instructor at a range in Philadelphia.
Yep. So in other words, listen to him, right? Because he got all the right instructions.
I'm just a guy. I'm just a dude playing a dude disguised as another dude.
Okay, so now can you tell me about the difference between immediate action versus remedial action?
Yeah, absolutely. Immediate action, right? Let's say that we're working with just our rifles, okay? Because there's two coins of it, right? If you have a sidearm, we'll get into that a little bit later. With your rifle, immediate action, right? It's click, no bang, right? So you take your gun off safe, you put it on fire, you attempt to pull the trigger, right? And nothing happens. From there, your immediate action should be tap the bottom of the magazine, rack the charging handle, okay? From there, that should go ahead and reset the internal components of your firearm itself. It's not always gonna work, right? Which then would lead us into a remedial action, okay? A remedial action, right, could be something that is either gonna be a stoppage or malfunction. That's where we have to really observe the rifle itself and see what's going on, right? It could be either a double feed, it could be a brass over bolt, or it could be a failure to extract. That's where you're actually gonna have to take your time and rectify the situation that is currently in your hands. So yeah, pretty much that's pretty much it. It's nothing super extravagant. It's simple, straightforward. Just have yourself an internal checklist. You should always go to immediate action first. Unless you're like diligent and you're actually looking at all your ejection patterns, that's great, well said and done. But if we're doing this in a high-paced scenario, you should just be hammering that trigger, and the second you don't feel a bang, right, tap rack. And if it doesn't happen again, then result to remedial action.
Yeah, 100%. Like especially if you're in the battlefield, you're not going to be paying attention to every single detail.
Oh, especially when you like start inducing like stress drills and stuff like that, right? Unless you're part of like some like tier 1 asset where you guys are like forward observed, right, and forward deployed. I don't really have much experience with that. Okay, so don't quote me. Again, I'm just a guy. All right, I'm just a dude. But we do our best to induce stress and to mimic it as best as possible. And from there, like, you'll notice 100%, like, you'll just get tunnel vision, right? Like, as soon as you put yourself in that mindset, like, hey, this is go time, this is not training anymore, everything's gonna go out the window. As simple as it sounds, it is very real. 100% very real.
では今からね、まず即時対処、タップ&ラックの方から入って、そしてそれから復旧作業の方にね、やっていきたいと思いますけども。Alright, Brandon, so let's just first do the immediate action drill.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, so I brought a couple dummy rounds. We're gonna use that to kind of mimic the immediate action failures.
Yep.
ではまず今からイミディエアクションに対してどういうふうに対処していくかっていうのをブランドン先生に見せてもらいます。Alright, Brandon, so we're going to run through immediate action.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And for this drill, I gave you 2 dummy rounds and currently in your magazine.
Correct.
Alright, so let's break it down.
Alright. Okay, so let's go ahead, let's go through it.
Yep.
Okay. So we saw I did click, no bang, right? Nothing's happening. Okay. So from there, my initial reaction should be I'm going to take this gun, I'm going to tap the bottom of the magazine, right? Because it also could be a spring issue as well, right? Or a failure to feed. And then I'm now going to take the charging handle and I'm just going to rack back. Okay. I saw ejection, right? And I saw the bolt feed another round into the chamber. So from there, I'm now going to place the gun back on safe. Biggest thing is that whenever you get like a failure to feed, right, a stoppage malfunction, if you're going into a remedial action, you should attempt to put the gun on safe, okay? Follow the safety rules, it's gonna be fine, right? Especially if you're in a heightened situation. I've seen a lot of people accidentally put their finger inside the trigger guard and then they just clack off a round right in front of them. All right, now let's go ahead, let's do it from the right side. All right. Click, no bang. I saw ejection. Go ahead, give it another round. Put it back on safe, back down. All right, and that's pretty much his immediate action right there, okay? It's nothing super crazy, super sexy. It's pretty deliberate, pretty straightforward. Just mind your P's and Q's, right? Have that sort of throttle control. Get a hold of the situation, okay? Don't let the situation control you. You are in control of your entire environment. So from there, hone in on it and work accordingly and appropriately to the situation at hand.
So Brandon, I noticed that you did not lower your rifle. The rifle stayed in your workstation.
Yeah, absolutely. So the workstation, workspace, right? It's a common thing in the military. For some reason, civilians don't understand that concept. They think it's like some weird thing. Anyway, so that way, like if I'm already up here, right? Especially when we're working with red dots, you don't need to have like that whole cheek weld onto the gun to get like perfect scope shot or anything like that, right? So from here, as soon as I tap rack, right? The second that I come back, I'm already dipping that gun down into my line of sight. So that way, as soon as it slingshots forward, I can immediately grab my rifle and then deliver round. Same with like pistol shooting. The second you see that red dot on the target, boom, deliver round.
And how would you recommend to practice this kind of situation? Buddies, load your magazine, mix it with dummy rounds?
Yeah, absolutely. So whenever you're practicing this, when you're in like a friend environment or like a group environment, instead of gaming the game and, you know, not getting enough feedback, have your buddy load your mag, right? Like Sato-san over here, right? Like he loaded up my magazine because I didn't know where it was at, right? So from there, it trains you to keep fighting until you can't anymore. And then from there, immediate action, go through with the rest of the drill, and then you just get good reps out of it. So it's going to be quite beneficial if you have somebody else load your magazines.
今ブランド先生のマガジンに3発ダミーラウンドを入れました。彼には伝えていません。何発入れたか伝えてません。Alright, Brendan, whenever you're ready to go.
Gotcha. Nothing crazy, nice and smooth, all right? Nice, well composed and controlled.
では今からジャックですね。これは20式に似たような仕組みになっていますので、こちらでやってもらいます。どういうふうに対処するかやってもらいましょう。Alright, Brendan, let's go ahead and demonstrate.
Yep. Okay, as always, right, we're going to start with left-handed. Okay. I'm left eye dominant. Okay.
基本的にタップ&ラックってことで基本動作は変わりません。Alright, so Brandon, the basic action doesn't change.
No.
Either the short action, short piston action like this versus the AR platform.
Absolutely. The one thing you just have to be mindful of is how far that charging handle is on the rail system. Especially for left-handed shooters, it can be absolutely weird because let's look at how far up this charging handle is. So now you see how close it is to this iris right here. So you really gonna have to like work on like your individual finger dexterity right there and really like hook it on. For right-handed shooters, you're pretty much in the ballpark. Like you're right here, tap, just roll it over, and now you can literally just use that pinching method to rack it. Overall, not bad. Yeah, I mean, it's a nice gun. I like this. This is a nice jackal.
It could be yours for $1,500.
I don't like it that much. I don't like it that much.
はい、では今から、復旧処置について、ドリルをやってもらいます。Alright, so we're gonna move into remedial action here, and we have this magical stick that will help us create those kind of situations. Alright, so go ahead and load and make ready.
Gotcha.
.で今からやる内容としては、彼にまず撃ってもらってですね、そして、このスティックを、このイジェクションポートの近くに持っていって、これで故意に、マルファンクションを起こさせます。Alright, go ahead and start firing.
All right. Okay. Oh, look at that double feed. So as you just see, we just induced a double feed right here, okay, and a failure to extract. You see, because that spent casing is already spent. Okay, so from there, my first initial reaction, attempt to place the gun on safe. Okay, awesome. And now from there, I'm going to lock the bolt back to the rear. So I'll lock the bolt back. Okay, now I'm going to take the magazine out. Okay, and then when you ever have a double feed, right, as you see right there, you have that spent casing that fails to come out. All you have to do is literally just take your fingers, put it inside the magazine well, lift up, and really kind of have to jiggle it out. Yep. And then from there, you just take your magazine, insert again, and you're ready to go.
Now, we are doing this in the flat range. There is no threat down range. Now, if you are engaging a threat, you will obviously take cover while you do that. Correct?
Absolutely, 100%. So if cover is permissible, then you definitely 100% want to get behind cover, right? If you have a sidearm, right, then we're just going to go into those transition drills, okay? That's essentially what you're going to do. And then you're going to seek cover, or if you have a buddy, they're going to provide cover fire, and then you can get your gun up as best as possible. Huh, again. All right, again, place the weapon on safe, right? Lock the bolt back to the rear. Take the magazine out. Sometimes if you're lucky, you'll get them out at the same time. And then you're gonna go ahead and insert your magazine again. And now you're ready to go. Try going a little bit more forward.
Forward?
Yeah, go. There we go. All right, so now we got a stovepipe. Okay, so from there, same rules apply, right? Always attempt to put the gun on safe. Lock the bolt back to the rear. Whoa, we got a 3-for-1.
Holy smoke.
Nice. All right, so we had a stovepipe that now went into a double feed. So from there, right, we already locked the bolt back to the rear. This is how you can tell, like, literally anything could happen. So gain control of the situation, go about it appropriately. So now we're gonna rip that magazine out. Okay, and now same thing, fingers inside the magazine well. All right, perfect, good. Area's cleared, chamber's cleared. Insert magazine, bolt forward, ready to go.
今再現しようとしてるのは ブラスオーバーボルトといって薬莢がですねボルトの上に入ってしまうというようなマルファンクションを今再現しました。これはカラー薬莢を使ってやっています。
So if you have a brass silver bolt, right, you have a couple of options to work with this, okay? You could either attempt to lock the bolt back to the rear, but the downside to that is that it could potentially bring the brass further back into the gun, and that can be pretty detrimental. So I'm just going to show you a way that's absolutely 100% going to work all the time. So this is what we call mortaring the gun. So from there, you're going to take your buttstock, you're going to fully collapse it, okay? You're going to lock it in place. And now what you're going to do is that you're going to take the charging handle, okay? Works best if you have an ambidextrous, and you're literally just going to smack the buttstock, right, the top of the buttstock, onto the ground. Okay, sometimes that might not work, so you just got to keep doing it. All right, let's see if that works this time. Aha! And now, voila. Now it's cleared, right? Give yourself a common courtesy, right? And just rack it a few times. So then set up your rifle again, right? Give it a few racks. All right. Just make sure nothing's bad. All right. There it is. All right. When in doubt, just mortar the gun, okay? Just make sure you don't fully extend your buttstock. You want to collapse it as much as possible. I've seen a lot of guys have their buttstock super outboard like this, fully extended, and then like a tip of their buttstock like breaks off. But not these Magpul CTR ones. I haven't yet to see that happen. I've seen it on like the FN ones, like the military grade ones. Military grade, code name for cheap. So, and I've seen them break off so much. So, yeah, that's how you clear a brass overbolt right there. If you can't bring this charging handle fully back to the rear, just mortar the gun, right? You have nothing to prove by being a big strong man and like, you know, pulling the gun all the way back when you could literally just cut all those steps in half and just mortar.
では今からジャッカルを使ってですね同じようなドリルをします。違いとしては AR15 系からこちらピストン系の銃に変わった感じですね。で20はこちらの方が近いかなと思います。では行きましょう。
Alright, let's do it.
Go ahead.
Yep. Ooh, oh, that's a nasty stovepipe right there. All right, this was going to be pretty self-explanatory, right? So again, roll the gun over, attempt to put it on safe. Okay, attempt to lock the bolt back to the rear. Okay, it went right back in there. Look at that. It just induced a double feed right there. Okay, so remember, whenever you're doing a remedial action, don't just immediately go to slap the bolt back home, right? Because then this is what's going to happen. Oh, double feed. Right, so goes back full circle, gain control of the situation, right, control your environment, attempt to put the bolt back. All right, rip that magazine out. Okay, good, nothing's in the chamber. Insert magazine, bolt forward, back in. Nice. All right, yeah. So there we go, that's how we cleared a malfunction, right, for a remedial action on the Jackal.
Want to go fast like Ricky Bobby.
Somebody save my friend from the invisible fire.
Are you ready?
Right.
Stand by. All right, shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
はい、ということでね、今回はちょっとジャムのクリアのドリルってことでね、やってまいりましたけども、皆さん、また要望とかございましたら、いろいろ言ってくれると、こちらもね、助かりますんで、またお願いします。今回はね、ブランド先生にいろいろ対処法を教えていただきました。Thank you, Brandon, for showing us.
Yeah, man. Thanks for a great time today.
Yeah, awesome. Awesome instruction. Very easy to understand how to clear malfunction and all that stuff. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem.
And the drill that we did in class, that's why we're breathing hard. I guess we need more exercise.
Yeah, something like that. Do cardio. Remember?
Out of shape. Yeah.
Remember with our first video,
That's
right?
what we're happening. All right. Thank you so much, guys. 今週もありがとうございました。Peace out.
See ya.